Greetings once again, another day at the Riverwalk. A couple topics on my mind today. One is what I might call generational rebellion, which in modern culture is something that we see on an ongoing basis. So it could be hippies, Woodstock, could be the Flappers, could be punk rock. Basically a new generation who was brought up in the prior generation doesn't like the environment. They don't like what they were told, and they want to break away from it and create a new reality for themselves. And unfortunately, we're all in the same reality. So, punk rock, you can do your hair a certain way and put safety pins through your face. Hippies, you can dress a certain way, things like that. Disco, whatever. And it's not like these activities are all negative. Some good things can come of it. So disco, socialization, physical activity, but then there can be a downside, which would be perhaps cocaine. The hippie movement, was interesting in a way because it tied to various spiritual traditions. The Beatles went to India, but then again, you also had in Haight-Ashbury a lot of rape and a lot of overdoses and deaths and things like that. So it kind of comes with the territory. And today what we have with this generational rebellion dynamic is younger people understandably don't want to stay tied to their elders, the system that didn't really work very well, that they didn't like, which you can't blame them. So they want to put out some signposts here and there that basically say we're not part of that. And one of the main things these days is tattoos. When tattoos started on the increase, a lot of places, businesses like, we're not going to hire you with tattoos, And now it's basically, we're not going to hire you unless you have tattoos. But anyway, the tattoo thing is it's like a fad. It's spreading everywhere. And even the older generation, I saw a guy the other day, 67 years old. He had them all over his face. And but aside from being an indicator or a signpost or a badge, what exactly does that do? Well, not really anything, in my humble opinion. So another thing is, you might say, is speech patterns. I think a common word for it is Valspeak, maybe like Valley Girl talk. But there's this effect called vocal fry, where it's got a creaky sort of thing of the vocal folds vibrating in a certain way. And I don't hear this so much with men, but women, it's quite a lot. And, the whatever and the, making things sound a certain way. And, when you're speaking, you're expressing yourself. It's coming from, your emotions, your mind and things, and it's coming out. And now there's a certain filter which gets applied to everything. And you might ask, it's like, well, what difference does that really make other than it's another badge to show that you're not part of the old fart squad, And anyway, it's becoming the norm. But all these rebellious norms that we have, rebellious norms, they're not that original because they got adopted, basically carbon copied, Xeroxed by hundreds of thousands of people or more, millions. So to go to the Aboriginal model, the ideal state of community, self, connectedness to the universe, there was never any need for younger generations to rebel, to break away from something that didn't work, because basically it did work. And everyone was together in the same boat. So just like a boat in the ocean, it's like if you're out on a lifeboat, all your lives are tied together. You're not going to start acting weird in order to make yourself look different or something like that. So anyway, that's something that's going on. And what else did I want to talk about? Starting a new church. I want to start a new church. It's called the Church of the Apocalypse. And basically, it's kind of a joke, but there's no dogma, there's no text, religious text or anything like that. It's just basically you are allowed to do whatever the hell you want. And basically when that happens, people will rise to the occasion. They will stand up and then fall on their face. Oops, I made a mistake. And then you learn something from the mistake. So one thing about religion, I recently saw a talk by Rupert Sheldrake, the British fella. I grew up in England, I can kind of relate. I call him Da Roop, give him the street savvy name. But he gave a long talk, hour and a half, I didn't make it all the way through, about religions, and basically religions being a path to God or something. And there was something about what he was saying. It's basically honoring all these religious traditions and stuff. And at one point he said that experiences help you to give you belief. And that is just basically completely wrong, because experiences give you knowledge. You know something that you didn't know before. So just like with, any kind of paranormal or religious experience or something like that, you can believe, for example, that the body is only a receptacle for consciousness or the soul or whatever name you want to put on it. But then when you have an experience, perhaps an out-of-body experience or a visit from a ghost or spirit or something like that, then now you don't believe it because it's like your favorite movie. You know it because you've experienced it. So anyway, I commented on this video and I was just a tad. Hi.
How you doing?
Hey. Just a tad obnoxious, but in a funny way, I hope. But what I pointed out was that experience does not has nothing to do with belief. So it gives knowledge, and so all these religions all across the world, which he was basically, honoring and saying they're all on the right path, they basically disconnect us from the universe. They will never connect us. It's the experiences that connect us. So just like when, people die. I mean, I did a cartoon once where there's a scientist and he's, there's a gravestone that says Dr. Beaker, and his ghost is coming out of the ground, and he says, "Now I get it." So that's the point where everybody's going to get it, But anyway, if we're stuck in this position between the normal and the paranormal or whatever, I hate to put words on it in a way, but trying to figure out this puzzle, what's real, what isn't real, where you're basically looking at things separately. So you're looking at the consciousness, and the universe, and then the universal consciousness or God or whatever name you want to put on it. That's something that's out there, and we can't, again, the Aboriginal model, it's like it's all one thing. You're part of it. And when you do that, you can go on for 200,000 years and be happy, healthy, in service to your community, to each other. We have no idea what that feels like. We want to break away, which isn't healthy because it doesn't work. Going all the way back to flappers, Victorians, and blah, 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 and so on. It's never worked. The next generation will come up with some other thing. Oh, we're going to cut off our pinkies so everyone that can see that we're not part of the tattoo people, None of it ever works. So, anyway, Should I leave it there? Probably. Yeah, it's a good place. Okay, bye.